Your mental self image is everything, and we put ourselves last. We always say, I'll get the diet going next year, or I'll do the side business next year, or you know what, you just don't want to take a chance because you're scared, because they've told you you're probably going to fail, you're probably going to fail, you're probably going to fail. And that's the separator. And you see it too, but I think so many of us were afraid to just leap, you know because it's not a leap of guarantees, it's a leap of faith. But as long as you keep leaping, at some point, I mean, what is there to lose? Depending on what your venture is. I mean, if it's a YouTube channel, right? Like, oh, here we go right again. So if it's a YouTube channel you're trying to do, like myself here, it's so easy to look at just the results and get down and say, you know what, this isn't working. You know, it's super easy to say, you know what, this is a waste of time, Jay. You're never going to be some huge thing. How do I, first of all, how do I know? Second of all, let the people decide. Put up your best work and improve, and watch the videos and say, okay, that sucked. Improve that next time. Make a little note, and just it's all you can do in this life. But everyone starts with the same. We all have internally the same tools, but it's how we use them. You know how it is. You see the successful people on YouTube, and you're like, man. A lot of us say luck, but it's not luck. It's they just never gave up. They have a delusional positivity. You have to have it's delusional to most of us because we've been learned that that's just fantasy. That's just dreaming. That's just crazy talk. Live in the now, Jay. Be realistic. You got to get a day job. You got to have. Where's that gotten any of us? And the ones who break out of the box, who we look at and think, man, what a nutbag. This guy's crazy. How can you be that positive? We should really all be that positive. Even if you don't show it outwardly in your mind, even if things are going terrible, you have to always have that knowledge that it's going to work out. This is for a better purpose. I'm learning this harsh rule now because in the future, this is going to help me become a better person when I am successful. And it's going to help me, I'm going to have the mental tools then because I've dealt with the hardships and the setbacks. That's why the people who fight through those hardships and just keep brushing it off, those are the ones that are successful, no matter what it is, whether it's, musician or whether it's a YouTube channel, whether it's a business, whatever the heck you're doing. It starts up here. And the thing that they've slowly decayed over our whole lifetimes, unless you catch it, is your self image of yourself. And we keep putting ourselves last. If we're overweight, we just think, oh, it's just the way I am, it's but if you really want to get in shape, and who cares what age you are? Who cares who's around you? Be the example. That's what I always say. The best way to motivate other people is just by being your best person, your best self. And people will start to want to get some of that. It becomes contagious. Just like anything else. Just like if you get a new car, everyone else wants a new car, right? I get a new guitar, and then all my buddies are, getting new guitars. But if you start being the example of health, and you say, no, man, I'm not drinking anymore. I'll still have fun. Then you start slimming down, you start getting in shape. People around you, they're either going to stop calling you, and that's fine. Don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of separating yourself. In fact, you have to separate yourself to make these improvements because you have to basically reprogram your mind. Now, if this doesn't affect you and you're listening to this, that's great. And you don't have this problem, that's great. But I make these videos. It's up there if you want it, just like everything else on YouTube. If you don't like it, do not recommend channel. It's easy. But if this helps, I'm hoping that someone hears this and that there's more. There is more. There's a lot more. But you have to reprogram your mind from negative to positive. Everything's a positive. Even if something is a shortcoming, learn from that and make a new goal, a new script in your mind. It really works. And if you look at the people who are doing well, they almost seem like delusional because to most negative people, to most of us, that's what we were taught as delusional. If you have a good mindset and positivity and you know that there's a higher power and you have that inside of you, because we all do, you will always be at least calm. You'll always know that things change so fast. I mean, things change minute by minute, day by day. But if you're negative, you're going to pull in that negative, and that's why you keep getting in that rut. That's why we all keep getting in the ruts because we keep making that negative script, and then we keep piling on that negative script, and it keeps snowballing. But if you do a positive script, You know, and I slip myself as well. I have to catch myself. That's why I'm doing this in the morning. And I said, I'm going to make a video and see who else deals with this or who else kind of feels that there's more and that we should be more positive and more expecting. And it's an expectation, you know. It's not just brainwashing yourself to, you know, I am rich, I am rich, I am healthy, I am no, that's not what I'm talking about. Through meditation, that's the first step. You got to sit back for at least 15 minutes a day, even if it's before bed or right when you wake up. You have to find the time for these things. Absolute silence, and if you can, get absolute darkness, whatever you got to do, and just be. And when you start doing that, you're going to start to realize, you're going to start feeling different things inside of you. And then that's where you start to get wisdom. And you really know that, hey, there's more in there. I know I sound crazy. So the first step is you have to stop putting yourself last in your mind and not, you know, people misinterpret that too. It doesn't mean be selfish. And even if you have kids, of course, you got to take care of your kids. But still in your mind, you should always be thinking, I have to take care of myself first. Because if I go to the hospital, if I get sick or something happens or I get injured because of something stupid that I could have prevented, I can't take care of my kids then. And what am I going to do? You have to find a way. If you can't get to the gym, figure out a way to do something at home. If you have to watch the kids and they're sick and you can't work out and go through your routine, you got to cram it in. Even if they're laughing and they're around, let them laugh at daddy doing push-ups or mommy doing, you know, her burpees or whatever, you know, squats, whatever you do. Like, just do it. You don't have to do it all day. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and really go hard. That's putting you first. Putting you first means saying in your head, I can do it YouTube channel just as good as them. I'm going to be inspired by that, not saying, oh man, I can never do that. Man, how come I'm not talented? Oh, I can never be Rick Beato. Oh, I can never be Greg Doucette. I can never be Mr. Beast. I know Mr. Beast, that's a weird example. That's a weird one, huh? But they're people too. They figured it out their own way and they just eventually just started doing it. But they had that delusional, oh, no more quotes, but they had that delusional mindset, positive mindset that they're expecting it's going to work out. It's just a matter of time. That's what I always say. Time is, that's the illusion too. Because it seems like, well, I'll never get there. It takes so many years and that. Just start doing it. It's different for everyone. What if you're the person where in 2 months you explode on YouTube? That's not me. As we can see, that's definitely not me. But so what? Get in the mix. Get your hands in the dough. That's what I'm doing this morning. I'm just putting the camera up in the living room, trying to get some reps, trying to keep consistent, and hopefully inspiring some people out there. So put yourself first and have delusional confidence. And have some coffee. All right. Good morning. Have a good one. That's so terrible. I'm so bad at these fucking endings. No, I'm not. I'm great at endings. And here comes the greatest ending you've ever heard. So put yourself first and know that you have the power in your mind to do anything that anyone has ever done before. And you have the power to do something we've never seen. So show us.